Okay, is there a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve that nothing has been discussed in the executive session except those items on the agenda.
Very good. And a second?
Second.
And there's a second. Okay, roll call.
Okay, Commissioner Clemens,
Yes.
Commissioner Washington,
Yes.
Commissioner Chambers,
Yes.
President Rogie.
Yes.
With 4 votes in the affirmative, the motion passes.
Okay, public comments. And the comment only, sorry?
George, you have to go back to the minutes. You didn't accept the minutes from the last, you got a copy of the minutes from the
Oh,
last
I'm sorry.
meeting? Okay.
I'm sorry, I did miss that. Acceptance of the minutes from the meeting held on August 7th, 2024.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank
Second.
you. Moved in second. And any comment? Dan, roll call.
Commissioner Clemens,
Yes.
Commissioner Washington,
Yes.
Commissioner Chambers,
Yes.
and President Rogie.
Yes.
Okay, with 4 votes in the affirmative, the motion passes.
Very good. And now the public comment, comments only on agenda items. Who do we have? Okay, I will go on. Presentations. My Gary, my lot applicants.
Sure. So I want to clarify that this is an opportunity for those who are residents that participated in our My Gary, My Lot program, that if you have a property that is on the agenda today, you're more than welcome to spend 2 minutes to discuss your property, discuss your dealings with the property that you're soliciting, giving our commission and the public an opportunity to understand who you are as a homeowner, and getting understanding before our commission votes today. So there's no particular order that we have. So it's a matter of members of the public who participated in the My Gary, My Lot program, that if you want to spend 2 minutes up at the podium to speak, to give the commission some understanding of who you are, your property, and what you're petitioning for, you're welcome to do that at this time. Yeah, for the side lot program. Okay, yep. And if you could state your name, address, and then the lot and the property that you're inquiring about. We'll give you 2 minutes to be able to just present to the board, the commission.
And I'm going to keep the time just to make sure we stay on track, because 2 minutes, no more than 2 minutes per person.
A button to the right, you should be able to click that, and then the microphone should turn green. Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. We got IT coming up with the mic. Okay, no worries.
Oh, there we go. We got a green light. Hi. Thank you. Hi, I'm Sonda Washington. My daughter and I, Kelly Fields, we own the property at 736 Connecticut Street. The site lot that we're interested in is 740 Connecticut. We've been keeping it clear. We just like to extend our property line. That's it.
How you guys doing today?
Good, good.
All right. My name is Brandon White. I'm from Chicago originally. The property that I'm interested in is an adjacent to 1288 West 16th. I've taken care of the property for over 5 years diligently. I take care of my neighbor's property. I put my own money into this property, renting dumpsters, moving debris, picking up glass. I did it on my own, out of my own pocket. Respect to the city of Gary. I plan on putting a carport there, making a bigger dog run for my dogs, building a carport, expanding my garage, building a family area for my family, and ultimately passing the property down to my offspring. I'm an entrepreneur out here in Gary. I'm a property investor. I see Gary coming back on the map. I'm one of the people out here that believes Gary can be beautified and come back again. I'm requesting this property so I can continue doing that. Like I said before, I put my own time, my own money in, my own sweat in. This property next door, literally. I help keep my block clean. Again, I'm one of the people that see the bigger vision of Gary coming back on the map, taking the initiative to clean up my own block, my own neighborhood, and the property next door. Before I bought my house, or before my house was paid for, I had already invested into the property next door as far as getting dumpsters, cleaning debris, overgrown trees, glass, and I just asked that I'll be granted the lot next door. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And for one more time, just for my record, the property that you're referring to,
I don't
the
have
address,
It's a
or what's your address? What's
1288 West 16th Avenue.
got it? Okay, so you're looking at 1292 through 94 West 16th Avenue.
1288 West 16th Avenue.
Got it. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Thank you guys again.
Yep. Okay. No, thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right. Next petitioner.
How you doing? My name is Thomas Mendiola. I own 6631 West 9th Avenue, and the address I'm looking at is 6625 West 9th Avenue, on the side. I was keeping up to maintain the grass, the weeds, the glass, and all the other stuff on it. I was looking into how can I get that property donation. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Tamika Berry. I reside at 732 Polk Street with Shantae Beasley. We are trying to obtain the property adjacent, which is 736 Polk Street. We actually own 740, so it's right in the middle of two properties. So we'd like to get that one, maybe fence it in. We maintain it, always have for, I don't know, years and years, and maybe, I don't know, garage. However, just make it good, better for our family, you know, enclose it, make it safer, and every good, all that. Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Beatrice Pittman, and I live at 5600 East 10th Avenue. And the lot is right next door, 5608 East 10th Avenue. I keep it up. And I would like to put maybe garden, flowers, but anyway, is it possible, can you put because it's a foundation already there. Is it possible that you can add from your house over to that house, like with another home?
So that would be something that you definitely would seek professional services for, an architect. But the intention is that if you acquire this property adjacent, you're a homeowner adjacent to the property, 5608 East 10th Avenue.
Yes.
That it would be your property. So if you have the ability to go through zoning, if you desire to expand your existing home, you'd have to go through that process. But this would be your property to consider for expansion or creating a garden, like what you shared. So.
Okay, but I keep it up. But anyway.
Yeah.
Also, they told me I needed to bring my light deal and ID. Do I bring it to you or somewhere else?
You can, we could talk offline after this meeting, because that's a part of the backup to show that you're a homeowner. So if you provided that information, we could collect that after the meeting.
So I have to stay here till after the meeting?
Yeah, so here, if you provided that to Mark Celio already in the application, sorry. Understanding if you're a homeowner, you are a homeowner of adjacent property, correct?
Yes, yes.
Got it. So we just use that for backup. We use the Lake County GIS to confirm who you are, your name, and we just use that as just the final proof that you are indeed who you say you are.
Okay. I don't have to show it today.
Here, we could talk after, you could share that after the meeting. Okay, thank you. Hello.
Hello, guys. My name is Tanisha Harris.
Hello.
I'm a current investor in Gary, Indiana. I moved to Gary, Indiana in 2013.
Okay.
And today I would have purchased 6 properties and I refurnished all the properties with my own money, and I sold every property with my own. I didn't have a business name or anything. I just kind of started. I just picked up a house on the market that was in distress, and I bought over 6 properties and sold them all to this day. And last year on the tax sale in 2023, I purchased 3 more properties, and the properties that I purchased are in total distress. So I'll be remodeling all the properties and fixing them and selling them to low income or however the case is. 2 of the properties that I currently own are through township, and it's like a program like Section 8, and it's a monthly thing. I'm in a contract for 2 years with them. And I also do low income. And I also, the property that I'm here today is a property that's next door to a home that I bought in distress. It's a property that I now live in. I bought it in 2022, and I purchased it for...
Yeah, what's the address? Just
the
for
address
record?
that I purchased is 1829 Connecticut.
Okay.
I purchased it for $18,000 on the market, and it's now worth $150,000. The lot that's next door to the property is 1831 Connecticut. What the plans that I have is to expand the yard. The land that's 1831, it was basically a forest. It was basically, the trees were covering the entire house. You didn't even know that there was a house there. So with my own money, I believe I spent more money on just the land than I did on the inside of the property. So I think I spent maybe $14,500 on just cutting the trees and getting it disposed. Dumpsters, just different people coming by with trucks and taking it to the dumpster on 15th. And I plan on just expanding the property and making the property value go up more.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And just for clarification, so you live in the current home on Connecticut Street. You purchased the lot adjacent to your home, and then this is adjacent. The property that you're petitioning for is adjacent to the lot that you purchased.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. All right. Yep.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you. How you doing?
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? My name is Melissa Reed. I am a new resident to Gary. I bought the home in January. The address where I live at is 1545 Hendricks Street, and I am petitioning the property next to it because of the following. Noticing people and other neighbors putting trash, their guests throwing bottles and stuff like that, that's causing rodents to come that way and protrude through my yard. So I figured if I clean it, if it's mine, I can keep it and maintain it, because it's going to cost a lot of money because of the fact of it has a lot of trees, not the small ones. I cut the small ones myself, but they have the big ones. So I want to do what's right and petition for it. Therefore, I can do what's, I've been a property manager for over 30 years. So I want to keep a clean, maintained, and safe environment, because this property is the property that you see when you turn off of 15th. Okay. So you want to make sure your block look clean, especially when you want to entice more people to come to live in Gary.
Right.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Let's see. Are there any other petitioners for the My Gary, My Lot program that have not spoken? Okay.
Well, thank you all for coming. Very good. Number 8, Attorney Jenkins.
We're supposed to be receiving and opening bids for the property of, which property is that?
762.
Can you, okay. Okay, yeah, we're supposed to be receiving and opening bids for the property of, wait, where is this at? I'm sorry, yeah, 762-78 Massachusetts Street. Do we have that bid here?
Not as of yet.
Okay.
I would ask.
Okay, so unfortunately, we didn't receive a bid by 4 p.m., but we can leave the bidding open but for 30 days, we can't sell it for lower than the asking price that we had. So can I get a motion from the board to just simply leave the bidding open for this property so that we can entertain bids at a later time? Can I get a second? Okay.
Okay,
I'll take the roll call now. Commissioner Clemens?
Yes.
Commissioner Washington?
Yes.
Commissioner Chambers?
Yes.
And finally, President Rogie.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. With 4 votes, the bidding will remain open for opportunities at a later time.
Okay.
So with that said, we can skip item number 9. We won't be closing the bid. We can skip item number 10. We don't need to have the recess.
And number 11, skip. And then,
And we can also skip resolution
And-
7507. We won't be entertaining that at this moment.
remain open. Number 12. Okay, here we go for resolution number 7506. A resolution of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission authorizing and awarding real property from the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission to private homeowners for the City of Gary's side lot program. And go right ahead with Mr. Harris.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, President Rogie. So in regard to resolution 7508, resolution of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission authorizing and awarding real property, those addresses being 708 Rhode Island, 5608 East 10th Avenue, 829 Maryland Street, 701 Fillmore, 1065 Harrison Street, 736 Polk Street, 740 Connecticut Street, 5319 East 13th Avenue, 1837 through 39 Connecticut Street, 2436 Wheeler, 5706 East 5th Place, 1527 Hendrick Street, 2585 Monroe Street, 1292 through 94 1292 through 94 West 16th Avenue, and 6625 West 9th Place for the My Gary My Lot application program, and authorizing myself and the staff attorney to enter into final negotiations. Now, I know that having a conversation about there's some petitioners that were not here for to be able to publicly speak about what their intentions are for these lots. I want to be able to put it up to the commission of determining how we move forward, because I have 7 petitioners here that were able to publicly speak about their intentions for their property. Would it be on behalf of the commission to either split the approval for these lots today for those who are here, and have an opportunity for those petitioners who were not able to make it to this commission meeting to be able to move forward in our next commission meeting, which will be September 4th.
Okay, commissioners, you've heard Mr. Harris, you've heard the great people of the City of Gary.
I got a question, Mr. Chairman.
Go right ahead.
The property on, for resolution 7507 is also a part of this program. That's not being submitted for this list, is it, since this was tabled?
No, yeah. So 7507 is tabled, and then 7506 we moved on.
78,
We moved on for the side lot application.
Yes. We're on 7506.
No, the
What?
numbers,
The numbers are wrong?
yeah.
Oh, I noticed that too.
Yeah, the resolution
You know, which one am I looking at? I'm looking at the newest thing that was out today. 7506. What do you have?
So we're currently on resolution 7506. That is the side lot application. I'm aware that the agenda has 7507 listed first. That was the issue, yeah.
No, it doesn't.
It was slightly out of order, but.
We're
right,
out
we-
of order, but that doesn't mean. Oh. Okay.
So, just to
going
explain,
to-
70, just to
let's-
explain real quick, oh.
Let's, go ahead,
Yeah,
explain how you're gonna
sure.
fix
No,
that.
no, just 7507 was listed there because we were maybe expecting to award the bids right after, but since we didn't have bids for that 7507, we ended up just skipping over that one, right? But that's why it was initially positioned under that. So,
Okay. Maybe you should just, if you're gonna make a motion, maybe you should say the side lot program.
So it is 7506.
Well, not if you look at the, and not if you look at the,
So we're doing 7506 excluding.
so we'll still, because the agenda says 7506, we'll still go with that,
we'll
listed
go
as
with-
that number?
Okay, we'll go with 7506, as the agenda says. And then change the,
Yeah, we can count that as a Scrivener's error. I can make that change
Yeah.
after we approve, but we'll approve it as number 7506, if it's
Very good.
approved or not approved.
okay, let's,
Well, I make a motion to approve resolution number 7506, side lot program.
very good, thank you for doing that.
So Sharon, you made the motion. If you want to amend your motion, because I think the commission might want to award only those for the people who were here to give a presentation on their properties. So if you want to kind of amend your motion to say approve resolution 7506 for only to those properties where a presentation was given today, we can do it that way.
Okay, let's go ahead and approve the motion 7506 with an amendment of those that did the presentation on today.
It has been moved and properly second. I'll do the
Very good.
Okay.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Clemens.
Yes.
Commissioner Washington.
Yes.
Commissioner Chambers.
Yes.
And finally, President Rogie.
Yes. Okay,
With 4 votes in the affirmative, the resolution 7506 passes as to those individual property owners who gave presentations today. Congratulations.
yeah, right. All right. Now we have a resolution 7508, a resolution approving and authorizing an amendment to the service contract with Republic Services doing business as Allied Waste. Mr. Harris?
I'll be taking that
to
one.
the legal side, yeah.
Sure. So for resolution 7508 is actually related to a resolution we brought before this board 2 weeks ago at our last meeting. At that time, we simply approved a contract term extension for Republic. This is for their disposal services, but recently after we approved that contract extension term, we realized that their services have gone up, the cost of their services. So today, we are here to also approve, in addition to the term extension, we are accepting their increased rate from $52.50 per ton to $65 per ton. And the reason we're accepting that price exchange as well is because we already had money allocated towards this amount, towards this contractor, and we simply want to finish out the term for the year. So we'll, again, renew this process, solicit new proposals for the year 2025, but for now, we just want to carry out the end of the year at the new rate that they've suggested. So it's just going to go from $52.50 per ton until $65 per ton for the remainder of these next 4 months. So we would recommend that you approve Resolution 7508, just accepting the new price terms from the contractor. Thank you very much.
So how do you feel about this?
Oh, if we can get a motion to approve, and a second, then you can discuss it on the floor as you wish.
Well, I make a motion to approve 7508 to the end of the contract at the end of this year
Second.
with the increased rate. Second?
Oh, good. Moved in second. Any other discussion?
Yeah.
Then we'll go to the roll call. Oh, wait, stop.
No, I got a question.
Sure.
Yeah, go
So,
ahead.
why all of a sudden the increase, and was it municipal wide? And why did they do this at the last minute? And have we looked at other options going forward?
Sure, I can explain that. So the last time we solicited terms from them was like 2 years ago. This was in August of 2022. So their rates go up every 2 years for us. So we were locked in for that initial 2-year period. But now and we still had money left over after that initial 2 years, but to carry us throughout the end of the year, they just simply wouldn't honor that rate from 2 years ago. So they had to go up after every 2 years for us. And that's been a practice that they've done for the past several years that they've been a contractor for us. And they've always historically been the lowest bidder for these disposal services. And also, we did do an RFQ of 3 contractors before we accepted this new rate, and Republic still came in at the lowest out of the 3. I'll entertain other questions too if you have any more questions. Anyone, any commissioner.
Any more questions? Then we'll go to the roll call.
All right, Commissioner Clemens. Okay, Commissioner Washington.
Abstention.
Okay, Commissioner Chambers.
Yes.
President Rogie.
Yes.
Okay, unfortunately, with only 2 votes in the affirmative, we don't have enough to approve this action. We'll simply table this. We'll simply bring this this item back before the board at the next item. Yep, the next meeting. So there'll be more time to discuss it.
Okay. Well, it's on the agenda, but resolution number 7509, a resolution of the Redevelopment Commission approving the budget for the fiscal year 2025. Who wants to explain that one?
Sure. Okay. All right. So, Commission, I've invited our treasurer, Sleater Green, to explain our budget for fiscal year 2025 amongst the public. Will be available for Q&A as well, but I wanted to be able to provide an overview, or allow our treasurer, Sleater Green, to be able to provide an overview for our 2025 budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. I've given to you a package, and the first item that is in the packet is the budget calendar. The state of Indiana. Okay. The state of Indiana every year gives us a calendar for different activities that have to be accomplished during the year. From that calendar, I take those that relate to the municipalities and the external units, and we build our own internal calendar. So this calendar is for redevelopment, GPTC, and the airport. They all have tax bases that are part of our property taxes. The redevelopment board has other funds, such as your TIF funds and your non-reverting funds, that you're able to pass your budget for. For these, after they've been approved by you, then they should go before the council for their approval. So I will start in the middle at August 14th. On August 14th, we submitted the budget of the DPTC, airport, and redevelopment to the council. It is on the agenda for tonight. The meeting was originally scheduled for 8:20, which was yesterday, and it's going to be tonight. It will be on first and second reading. After which, on August 26th through 9/13, there's a period of time for committee meetings that will be scheduled by the council, and someone from the redevelopment board or department needs to be present to explain any of the line items that might have questions. The advertisement has to be 10 days before the public hearing, so we will advertise on September 2nd, and you will see that it's already in the system, but you'll see what that looks like. August 17th is the public hearing, and it has to be 10 days prior to the final adoption, which is scheduled for October 1st. And all of the budget information has to be to Department of Local Government and Finance by October the 8th. In addition, you have a couple of items. Redevelopment has two tax-based funds. One of them is Department 801, which is in the general fund. And there's just two sheets, it looks like this. Okay.
This is different.
Originally, the employees that are in General Fund 801 were part of the tax base for redevelopment. However, when property tax caps came into play, they lost a great percentage of their property taxes and they could not support the staff. So the staff was then taken on by the City of Gary General Fund. There are some changes that have been made. As part of the general fund, the mayor and the budget committee, which consists of the chief of staff, the chief operating officer, and the mayor, have suggested the changes that you see below. The administrative assistant position has been eliminated. It is open. The deputy director position was changed to fiscal analyst. And the mayor would like to see the economic development as part of redevelopment. So there are some position titles that have been changed so that redevelopment is responsible for developing projects within the city, and the economic development would be developing new projects as opposed to redeveloping. So under the planning administrative position, which is also open, it was changed to Director of Economic Development. And the budget was increased for the salary of $62,725 to $80,000. For the Economic Development Specialist, that position remains as part of Economic Development, and the Administrative Assistant position was eliminated. There are some changes that will also occur that you don't see here yet. The Teamsters negotiated with administrative several changes. Heavy equipment operators and the laborers are part of the Teamsters. That is also on the agenda for tonight before the council, and it was negotiated to give them an increase. They were at about $17.60. The increase would have taken them up to a little over $18.75. However, we have placed an incentive into the budget, whereas if they have a CDL, they will go up to $19.25, which is an additional $2,000. And that's hopefully to encourage all of our heavy equipment operators across the city to get their CDL licenses, and also for that position to be a little bit more competitive when trying to hire other employees for this position. Are there any questions on this one? Okay. Attached to that is the operating budget. There were not very many changes in the operating budget. For the personnel services, we've gone through all of those. Under the supplies, there was a decrease in increase from $10,000 to $25,000, and a decrease in other materials from $28,000 to $5,000. Professional services increased from $51,753 to $63,170. Repair parts remain the same, requires to equipment. Leases were added. I know that you have some lease payments, so $10,000 was added here for leases. And that was most of the changes. So it decreased from $711,405 to $702,121. And this again is the redevelopment budget that's within the general fund. The last one is a separate budget. This is for the redevelopment department itself and your own tax base unit. So here, there are only two positions that are in this budget. It's the executive director and the executive assistant for a total of $136,815. Under the operating budget, all the materials increased from $2,120 to $10,000. Professional services decreased from $26,922 to $25,000. The total budget increased from $212,292 to $220,524. The last items that you have attached, which are the budget items that are submitted to Department of Local Government and Finance, they help us to determine how much your budget can be increase or decrease based on the calculations that we have in the system of Gateway for Department of Local Government and Finance. The first one is the budget Form 2. It shows that you will be receiving revenues, and these revenues are provided to us by the state for the last 6 months of the year, $5,321, and for the whole year of next year, $10,643. This would be your financial institution taxes, commercial vehicle excise taxes, and motor vehicle taxes. And I didn't mention that the state fiscal year is July through June. So that is why here you see that the first revenue section starts in July. We have to account for July to December of the current year, spending and receipts, as well as the entire of next year. The next form is a notice to taxpayers, and I did mention that we have entered it already into the system. We'll probably go ahead and submit it next year for the advertisement so that it's advertised in plenty of time to meet all of the deadlines. And the last sheet is the budget estimate. This is the form that I mentioned to you. We have to enter the information, all the information that I've mentioned, in order to determine whether or not you're going to have a loss or an increase at the end of next year. So for the last 6 months of this year, your revenues will be $288,341. For the last 6 months of this year, your expenses will be $152,805. So you will have a surplus expected to be in this particular budget at the end of the year. For next year, the property tax levy is estimated at $393,120. The property tax cap's $220,000. The difference between those two is what your estimated property taxes will be. Your miscellaneous revenue for next year is $10,643, and your revenues for next year is anticipated to be $183,763. The budget that I just went through is $220,524, and the difference between the revenues expected for next year and the budget of $220 gives you your operating balance, which is a surplus of $116,000. So as we go through the budget process, the deadline, the absolute deadline, is November 1st. We have your deadline well before that time, so if anything comes up, we have time to discuss it and try to get that approved. However, within the meetings that we'll be having, the committee meetings, if there's something you feel you want to change, it can be revised. And in those meetings, we can discuss what it is you want to revise with the council and make an amended resolution. Any questions?
Sure. I just wanted to add a comment. So when it comes to capacity, economic development is very important, for us as a redevelopment commission. So understand that the titles and the salaries reflect the ability to add more capacity to capture the economic development opportunities that we see on the horizon for 2025. So definitely, I'm excited for the opportunity, and I just wanted to be able to give more context to the commission about, what that looks like when it comes to staff. So just wanted to share that comment.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other questions from the commission? Comments? Okay, all right, thank you. Appreciate it, Ms. Green. Yep.
Well,
Okay, can we get a motion to approve the budget, for Resolution 7509 for fiscal year 2025, based on the presentation given by our treasurer and the city controller?
I can't do it. It's just got to do it. I don't know if any of this is right. Well, I can't make a motion. I don't. Is there a motion on let's see, one more time, is there a motion? I do not hear a motion. Therefore, there's no motion.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve Resolution 7509.
Second.
Okay, moved and properly seconded. We'll now take the vote. Commissioner, oh, I'm sorry, unless there was any discussion.
Well, do we have a second?
Huh? Yeah, I know we have a second. I was just going to open it up to any discussion just in case. But if not, seeing none and hearing none, right? I'll move on to the roll call. Commissioner Clemens.
Yes.
Commissioner Washington.
Abstention.
Commissioner Chambers.
Yes.
And Commissioner Rogie. Oh, I'm sorry, President Rogie. I don't know if that was the whole.
That may not make me vote yet. Well, I see that we right down to the last minute to do this. And I see that I get this while all you were sitting here. It was passed down to me. So did I really go through it? Not really. I tried to read along with your dissertation.
And I'd like to add that that was sent to the department over 2 weeks ago. But I do want to be fair to say also that in the process, which I didn't say,
Yes.
normally I would not suggest that a budget that's not approved by the board go to the council. Now, this is a tax base. So if you don't decide on what your tax base is by the statutory deadline, it reverts to the prior year. So it's up to you how you want to vote. But as I mentioned before, because it is at the last minute, as you mentioned, that when it goes to the council, they do have their meetings, and if you want to change something, you can change it during those meetings.
Go ahead, please.
The deadline wasn't today?
So the deadline, it goes before the council.
Today,
It goes
right?
today.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, yeah, it was yesterday. I'm here, but we're here today because the council's gonna meet today instead of yesterday. So you're right.
Well, point of information. It
Go
really,
ahead.
the meeting today really has no bearing on it, but as Ms. Green said, you typically want a favorable vote from your commission. Just because it's favorable doesn't mean that the council is not going to agree with it or vote for it. So it may go under some other reconstruction. But I mean, when it comes to the budget, that's what I mean about us getting together and kind of discussing things beforehand, because this is a process that happens every year. And looking at the department, that's when I asked at the last meeting about the finances, about what we were spending and how much that was coming in. Those are things as a commission that we need to, moving forward, we need to meet more often to ask our executive director more questions when it comes to the functioning of this commission.
Where is the vote at the moment?
We have one abstention, we have one abstention and 2 yeses. So you're the last vote.
Yeah. Well, with that in mind, I see where I can vote yes, and we're nowhere. So I vote yes, and we're nowhere.
Very well. With
Feel
three
good about
votes,
that.
with 3 votes in the affirmative, the resolution 7509 passes.
Oh, that's terrible. Okay, let's go on here. We have, director's comments.
Yes, thank you, President Rogi. So first, I wanted to give a recap. We had an excellent charrette opportunity with the Notre Dame School of Architecture over the past 2 weeks. We had an opportunity to have over 200 residents and concerned citizens to come up the first night, a very warm night in 504 Broadway, but the residents really stuck it through, which was very exciting to be able to envision what we want for downtown Gary. Just understand that we're in a very critical, unique time for our city and for our downtown, for that matter. There's development interest, but we wanted to make sure that we didn't get ahead of ourselves and we allowed the public to be a part of how we wanted to rebuild downtown Gary. So from that charrette opportunity, the public engagement opportunity, we were provided a presentation, the same presentation that was offered to the public last Friday. But understand that the full report from Notre Dame School of Architecture is still being developed, and we should have that by the end of the year. And we'll get sections of that report in waves, but understand how critical it is to be able to understand what direction we want. For those who weren't able to participate, really the general outcome is that we have 4 activation nodes that were identified for downtown Gary, that being the transportation and civic, which is anchored by Gateway Park, where the Adam Benjamin Center is currently located, with the development of a new station, a new multimodal station that is funded through Mayor Melton's Senate Bill 434, and developing in that node for access and transportation, access to the Indiana Dunes National Park. Most residents don't know that we are the western gateway to the Indiana Dunes National Park, immediately to the east of Union Station. That's the beginning of the Indiana Dunes National Park. That's here in our downtown. So being able to create a pathway that's pedestrian friendly for our residents and those who visit our city to be able to enter that gateway into the new multimodal station and determine whether they want to go to the national park or to downtown Gary. We have the ability to create an experience for visitors and residents alike there. The other activation zone, here in that first activation zone, it also includes City Hall, the county courthouse, reconfiguring a new gateway park south of City Hall and County Courthouse that's more accessible to the public, and really introducing mixed-use development in that zone, right? That's going to utilize the old 4th Place that connects Broadway to the U.S. Steel Yard, and creating a pedestrian-friendly zone that's amenable to those who want to linger, go to a restaurant, go to a bar. That's an opportunity that we can have to keep people in our downtown relatively easily with a few catalytic developments along 5th Avenue. The second activation zone is centered at 8th Avenue and Broadway, centered around the Palace Theater development that we're actively working with that developer in an effort to create an entertainment space that's flexible and accessible to our public, honoring the past of what the Palace provided us, but still being able to offer an opportunity that we can promote and engage in the arts and entertainment at that intersection of 8th Avenue and Broadway. It would still be mixed use, but understanding that would be the focus of that particular node, activation node. The 2 other activation nodes are more so neighborhood activation nodes within the downtown, that being Emerson, understanding what we could do in redeveloping the Emerson School site, and synergizing with what's already there. We know the Faith CDC has definitely been active in holding that area of downtown on their own, but having a catalytic opportunity to be able to synergize from that was also recommended. The other would be surrounding Holy Angels. Most people don't realize that Holy Angels, that site is the headquarters, the epicenter of the Gary Archdiocese, which covers Lake, Porter, LaPorte County. But that's, their base is Holy Angels. And because of the built environment that exists there are still there's still residents that live in that neighborhood. And they recommended that we include and start infill development in areas that aren't completely you're starting from scratch, right? I could give you an area that we would have to start from scratch. That would be really 8th Avenue in Van Buren, or 8th Avenue and Harrison Street. Not much development around that area, but you really have to start from the very beginning. The goal is that where can you start where you already have some development, you have an anchor, and you can build around and infill those lots to really activate and create a strong neighborhood, stabilize it, and then allow that development to, merge into itself, from each of the 4 nodes. So it's very helpful because we have development opportunities at all scales, whether it be large scale or incremental development. With this opportunity with the Notre Dame School of Architecture, we're going to have templates for developers that could build on parcels that were platted originally from the city that previously had homes on them, but currently our zoning code deems building on those single parcels illegal because you need 60 feet of frontage in effort to build a single family home, as opposed to the 25 or 30-foot lots that were previously developed in the past. So, with some fixing and fine tuning of our zoning code, we can allow that incremental development to happen, and having housing templates and development templates similar to South Bend. South Bend has housing templates for their small-scale developers of people who want to build in their community. We want to make it easier and reduce the barriers because we want all of us to be able to be a part of the growth and wealth of downtown Gary. So very grateful, very excited for the process. We got a lot of positive feedback from residents who participated, and we're honored that they have been able to contribute. But this is just the beginning because it's more than just a plan. It's an action plan, right? This is not just going to sit on the shelf. So we're having some key discussions about the plan that we've already received from Notre Dame School of Architecture to help us with some big opportunities for the city when it comes to grants and funding. So I wanted to give the public an overview of that process, understanding that we are planning a Broadway Summit to be able to help the public be able to digest what we've discussed and what that activation plan is and how residents can plug into it. Whether you're a developer or you're a homeowner in that area, how could you be a part of this, right? So that's what the intention of the Broadway Summit, that's what that will be. You'll be able to see more information from the mayor's office about when that summit will be hosted, but just understand that that's our intention. We have our direction, our general marching orders, and now we want to be able to have the public be able to plug into the growth of downtown Gary. So very excited for that. We do have a new landing page for downtown Gary that will be developed and modified as time moves forward. That's gary.gov/greater downtown Gary. And then just be on the update for the presentation to being located on that website, as well as other information about downtown Gary in general on that landing page. So very grateful for the team for helping me, supporting me and pulling this together. Special shout out to GSD that really helped us with the plotter. It was very critical having that plotter in our office at 504 Broadway. So that was very grateful for that. And then last, I just want to thank all of the petitioners that participated in the side lot program. I understand it, understanding the blight that we have in the city and wanting to have ownership and growing and creating generational wealth for our residents. That's, the mayor's vision. We want to be able to get back into gear. I know that there are other applicants that have applied, but you are the first in our administration to be able to move forward, and I'm very excited for that. I'm very happy for that, and this is just the first of many. But I understand that the burden of so many homeowners having experience in handling these vacant lots or abandoned homes adjacent to them just to make their property, keeping up with the value and keeping up the presentation and aesthetic of your home. We understand how important that is to you, and we're grateful to be able to be a part of that process and help you have more ownership and stakeholdership in where you live. So I think that's going to round out my comments, but I just wanted to say congratulations to all the petitioners. Thank you. Awesome. Okay.
Thank you. Commissioners, any comments? Go right ahead. The other one.
Hello, hello.
We're talking about the budget?
Yeah, who does that now?
Yeah, so right now, so our deputy director and myself handle the budget. But what we've done is we've created a financial advisor position, which will be the deputy role. So that would be the intention moving forward of having that financial advisor. And Ms. Green, if you wanted to expound upon that.
Is there something particular you wanted me to explain?
Okay, I wasn't sure if
No, it's
there
just,
is
so as I mentioned, this calendar was given to all 3 units. And normally, I think over the past, redevelopment has not had the expertise to do their own budget, but we need their input because we don't want to do your budget for you. We need your input for we can make your budget work for you. And so that's where the timing comes in. Getting that information so we can do the budget, getting it back to the redevelopment department, and they putting us on the agenda so that we can explain it to you in a timely manner. Okay.
So that was the reason. Supporting this body as a commissioner to make sure that tonight, when the council gets to Council Washington, who is the oversight body of the commission, they can do their job.
Exactly.
So my job today was just to push it into the hands of council. Thank you.
Any other comments about school board?
No comments at this time from me, Mr. Chair.
Okay. And let me find the agenda. Agenda items for the next board meeting?
no comment at this time.
All right. And then number 20 is adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Moving second and roll call.
Commissioner Clemens,
Yes.
Commissioner Washington,
Yes.
Commissioner Chambers,
Yes.
and President Rogie.
Yes.
All right, we've got 4 votes. We can get out of here.